right, so go ahead and start our meeting, and we need a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Move. Second. Moving second. Any discussion on those minutes?
I do have in the minutes that this was going to take place in January. We had agreed to that last time. I didn't have to change because of the dates that they were.
No, I think you could just make note in the minutes for today's meeting that they came today. But I called them and it worked out that they could come tonight, and I thought sooner better than later.
Because that was correct,
Yes.
as to what was said at the last
Okay,
meeting.
so we don't need to do it.
Yeah,
first.
no.
That worked out better because they'd have already sent the bids out for me to look at.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Was there any other amendments or anything to the? No? All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get the
Motion?
first and second.
Don?
Who seconded?
I think no, I didn't, I wasn't
Sorry,
here, so I wasn't going to move or second. It
Is
was
that
Mike.
correct or error was in there?
So all those in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Then, now comes the best part of the meeting. The selection of the 2019 officers. So do I have a motion to
Nomination.
nominations for the committee?
Is there any current officer that doesn't want to serve in their position again? Margaret, I'm looking at you, because it's done with all the work, but
I just make a motion, we retain the officers that are officers of 2018, 2009.
I don't know, you
you can rest when you die.
I'll second that.
All right, so, been moved and seconded that the officers from 2018 receive the 2019. All those in favor of keeping the officers the same?
Aye.
Opposed?
Who is the vice president?
I think it's,
Yeah. Oh, who they are.
I was interim vice president.
Accepted it for the next
Tony's
year.
the treasurer, right?
That's right.
All right. Having done that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Mary for the director report and committee reports.
Okay, the Friends of the Library met earlier this month. They had a really great, although this was after the meeting, they had a really good book sale this year. I don't know if it was the social media or whatever, but they raised $482 in one day. So we're really happy with that. So that's great. I'll go straight to the director's report, if that's okay, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. You should have, we got money for Battle of the Books. That came from the Peabody Fund, from the Community Foundation of Whitley County, and I also included a copy of the reading list because I figured the teachers might want to take a look at that, so you should have gotten that. Combustion Mechanical actually came out and replaced the regulator that we were having issues with. It was a good thing they did because the next week boiler number 1 went out. They came out, restarted it, and it is fine now. So I have 2 working boilers for the winter. Very happy about that. I'm just gonna, the other thing is internal controls. You received the internal controls policy, the assessment, and then what was the other thing? The checklist. So later on in the meeting, I'll have you approve those. I am requesting to add another staff member to our roster. Earlier this year, what I had done was actually taken 4 hours from adult services, 4 hours from technical services, and 4 hours from the circulation department so that we could fund the internships, but we're not getting any. And with my discussion when I met with Beth is she's actually having to turn away people, some classrooms and some organizations, cut back on the amount of time that she can go because her plate is full. She works 29 hours a week, and she's just extremely busy. And my feeling is, we're kind of in that window now. Are we gonna grow our technology, or are we gonna keep it at status quo? And I'm really thinking, because there is a demand, that we need to go ahead and increase that robotics technology part of our, library, to see where it's gonna take us. And it's not gonna look like what it looks like right now, because when Beth started this whole thing, she's not doing anything what she started out doing. We still need to get our online things updated. Those streamed videos are outdated now. We need to get those updated. If they're gonna move us forward, I just really think I need another body. I tried really hard to get with volunteers and with Whitley Works with an internship program, but we're not getting anybody in. So, I put 2 salary schedules in your packet. One is basically the salary schedule that you looked at and approved for the budget back in July. The other one is actually moving Jamie to the robotics technology area in the library and adding another person, because I'll be pulling her from the adult services department. Okay?
How many
So,
hours a week?
I'm
The
gonna
new
keep,
person would be-
it'll be 28 hours. So Jamie's 28 hours now on ASD. I was gonna pull her and put her in robotics, and that means I need to hire another 28 hour a week person for adult services.
What are they actually doing, I mean, as far as the classes?
What
Are
she
they-
does
Are
is
they building things, are they, I
she
don't know what's going on, other than when she came here, had these things running around.
she sets up, let's say, 7 stations.
Okay.
And at each station, she might have Codapillar. So the kids learn how to put Codapillar together by what the symbol is on its back. And it does perform what they code it to do. It's very simple. Or they might do one of the robots. Or maybe she'll set up the virtual reality goggles. Or she'll have one of her STEAM kits out where they're actually manipulating a specific sequence, or they'll do the circuits. They'll do circuit trainings. So she has a variety of things that she does with them. Does that help explain?
Where do they go from next year? I mean, is it just a 1-year situation?
No,
Or
at
they
this
don't-
point, it'll be ongoing, because she started last
Yeah, I
year.
know what
It's
I
in her age appropriate pieces that
Yeah.
that she does. She does
So,
all.
I mean, she can handle 8, 9-year-olds and 12 and 13, 14?
And then she also does the
As
itty
it
bitties.
keeps going, okay, I
Yeah.
thought it just was a 1 and out.
No, it's all, and it's mostly the elementary and middle school. She's not really in the high schools. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just really taken off to the point where we had one day the classes or schools were closed. And we had, I think it was Little Turtle call and said, the kids are so disappointed because Miss Beth couldn't come and they lost their robot day. Can we please schedule another day for you to come back so they get replacement for that? I mean, that's how popular it is. So,
I would like to go ahead and talk about this, go ahead and vote on this now, if that's all right.
Okay,
with you,
that's
Kenny?
fine.
Yeah. So, it's on page 39, 40, and 41.
It looks like only $9,000 difference.
Yeah, well, and that's in part because Mary lost her raise in the shuffle between the two.
It's
And I assume there were
important.
other places that you got it.
I took it from there. I took 2,000 from perf, because I always have a little cushion in perf. I took 2,000 from perf and put it towards there. I have what's called banked hours that I go ahead and put in the budget. So when people are on vacation, we can cover it with another person. I took 1,000 from adult, 1,000 from children, not children, but circulation. So there's another $2,000. The internship program I totally took away. That was $5,000. And there was another part I can't. Oh, I know. I also figured out some of the salary people, the new people aren't going to get their full raise until they've been here a year. So those people, the extra that I have there, I put towards that too.
How easy
So-
is it to hire someone?
I actually have somebody that I've interviewed her twice already for other positions, that if she is interested in coming, I'm gonna give her a call, because she's already been vetted. I just need for her to meet with Katie and see if they click and.
Does it require an MLS or anything like
It
that?
does not require an MLS. She would have to become certified. She
And
would
on
have to be
that
on.
certification track that we have,
Mhm.
would that matter where she comes in for our certification that we offer?
Well, you know, the person I'm looking at does have a master's already. It's not in library science, but she has a master's.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it would fit.
It would fit, okay.
And that's kind of what, hourly level is that one at?
That is correct. And that's the one where there is a
Oh,
raise.
it's on.
So we're going from, it's $10 for a circulation clerk and then $10.75 for the,
So it's grade 5,
professional
new adult.
assistant.
Okay.
Yes.
This is new adult PA.
And that position starts at $10.75.
And was that all of the changes? Because I know that yours was one, the interns was the other, and then the other spots we talked about. Does anybody have any other questions on any of those spots?
We think it's important, I don't see any problem with it.
I absolutely agree.
Make a motion that we would approve it.
We have a motion to approve it. Do I have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion or any other questions anyone
I
has?
put our effort in areas that are growing and popular, I mean, that's where we want to,
Fill the needs of the community, I think it's
the communities.
where the need is.
All those in favor of approving the organization compensation plan of 2019?
And you're talking about the one.
The new
That
one.
is the 523,987, that one.
Yes, yeah, sorry,
Yes.
I guess they're both named the same
No,
thing.
that's actually just,
100% true. I marked my new and old.
the
I'm
one
sorry.
with the new position.
The one with the new.
We already
Yes,
had it.
yes.
The new adult position. And all those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do we need to sign?
Yes, that does need to be signed, and you need to sign in 2 spots, and I hope I have the.
I mean, this one's mine.
No. Okay, so it's not this one.
Color code yours? You did.
Mary,
Yes.
once we have that signed, if you want to go ahead and we'll have a discussion about the internal control checklist, we could do that now since we. it's-
While they're signing?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Has that changed any from last year?
The only thing that I need to tell, the policy itself has not changed. The assessment did change, and the checklist changed somewhat because of the DVD thefts that we've had. So I had to address those in my assessment. That is the only change in the assessment. Does that help?
Mhm.
Are we all clear? Okay.
Yeah, so did everybody have a chance to look at those? Any questions on any of those? And that is filled out every year. So-
It started 2 or 3 years ago, right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's maybe 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been, because I remember she worked really hard
Mhm.
a couple of years ago to get it started because there was no template. You kind of worked with some folks.
And then everybody
who
else
came up
is
with the
taking
template.
your template.
Yeah.
Correct. That is
Changing
correct.
this changes that, probably.
Right.
This
if-
changes the checklist.
Correct. The assessment is off the checklist. I do the checklist first. Okay.
And that one, item number 1, we usually discuss executive session.
Item number 1.
On here, item 8, number 1.
That's
You know,
the,
Yeah,
because I
item
don't
8
have
is
it
the
in
one.
front of me, I don't-
I'm sorry.
that's the DVD Blu-ray.
Oh,
That
okay.
usually,
Yeah, well, I just made a notation about that, so sorry. I mean, more than a notation, I just publicly talked about it, so I screwed up.
no, it's okay. If anyone would want to make a motion to approve the internal controls.
So moved.
And a second? You don't have to overdo it. That's not
Margaret second. Margaret seconded, yeah.
All right, so all those in favor of approving the internal controls report?
Looks like what Ann Matt says, not the revelation.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. I was gonna do that before when we started talking about it. And we got the other, so that works out okay.
That's fine. Is it okay, since I'm doing my director's report, if we go ahead and do the library closings right now then too?
We certainly can. We certainly can. Those 2 days.
I'll make a motion that we let you close it.
So, well, the dates are February 15th, 2019, and August 23rd, 2019. The February 15th date is because we absolutely have to clean out those rooms so that they can do the work. And then I would like to do half the day in the morning. We'll be moving all of that stuff out, and then we'll be training in the afternoon. The 23rd would be our annual staff development day. August
So
23rd.
if we do have, when we do have motions for those, if we can have them separate, so if there's any issues with either date, we can discuss it separately.
Well, I mean, she knows the days she wants, but she just listens. Do the,
I'll make a motion that we approve closing the library for half a day on February 15th.
Do you want it the whole
Well,
day?
it's the whole day.
Yeah, it's the whole day. Half the day is to clean, the other day
Yeah.
half is for staff development.
Okay.
And overflow if it doesn't get done in the morning.
Yeah.
Would you like them both on the same motion, Mary?
No, you don't, however you guys want to do it, I'm fine.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind amending your motion both days, that's
Fine,
fine.
we have the motion in.
It's August 23rd for the whole day.
I'll second.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. Any need for any more discussion on those days? All those in favor of approving closing the library on February 15th and August 23rd? Aye. Opposed?
Okay, we do have one of our teenagers that set the fire alarm. I did go ahead and put him on a 90-day probation, and as long as he doesn't follows the rules and is a good library patron, we'll go ahead and remove those restriction, and he will have full library credit. So, as long as, I mean, I figured you guys would be okay with that. I could even sign the chances, so I just want to let you know about that.
Yes, he should not be condemned for life because he told the fire alarm is on a teenager. Very good.
So, the other thing is I'm working with SDS to go ahead to go to, like SIP or voice over, whatever the
Yeah,
stands, yeah. So, because it'll be cost savings for us. So I'm still working on that. We did the salary schedule. The staff recognition holiday party is Monday. It'll be at Big G's. It'll be from 8 to about 9:30. If anybody can be there to help pass out certificates, that would be great. You guys, so you'll be there? Will Margaret be there?
I still have to check.
Okay, so I might have 3 people.
Yes, you might have.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you very much. The other thing is, we did have a WCCS sophomore come and job shadow with the library, and he actually got to work with the 4 librarians, and I heard back that he really got a lot out of it, so I thought that was great. Okay, that's all I have, but I know I gave you other stuff on the.
Yes, I have it, yep.
So, okay, so.
First being a motion for primary engineering.
Oh, for the bids?
For the bids,
I'll
yeah.
go ahead and move that we solicit bids consistent with the specifications being prepared by primary engineering.
Moved and seconded. Any need for any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the primary engineering bids?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And then one other piece I have here is about the meeting room policy. So,
Yeah, so as I shared with you, we had underage or teenagers come in wanting to find a place to use one of our rooms. The staff went ahead following procedure and had them sign a liability form, et cetera. However, they're
It was for
under
a school
18.
project.
For a school project, however, they were under 18 years of age. So I am just asking, you're okay if we just, until we even update that it's at my discretion or whoever librarian in charge, whether they can let the meeting room be used to those under 18 years of age. And I think you actually had different wording that you wanted to put on there, that we still needed a parent's.
with parent consent or parent acknowledgement or some,
He said that they should have had, somebody drove them.
Yes, yeah, they should have had a parent.
So
with
he's
them,
thinking that there may have been.
Or at least drop them off.
Yeah, that there may have been a parent available, which wouldn't really call for much change at all.
No, 'cause
Okay.
it does say must be 18 to use it, instead
Okay.
of must have someone 18 to sign for the room.
But I think, let's
not trying to keep
put
children
that on our
from
list
using
for
it.
something to maybe change and offer a little bit more discretion, because a group of 14, 16, 17-year-olds with clearly a school project, I think may be a reasonable exception under certain circumstances, especially if they can be properly supervised.
Okay.
And that would be the question though, because being back in the, would they be able to be, or were they properly supervised?
Well,
But not by the
and that may-
library.
well-
They weren't. They
Yeah,
were
that's.
not.
Were there problems? I mean,
No.
It's just not
this
matching.
already.
Yeah.
This has already happened, but it brought the whole discussion of technically policy was not followed by the staff.
Right.
At the same time, I want to
But
encourage
it-
students to use the library.
It clearly was a school project, but they didn't have any adult supervision.
Correct.
So, the question I have then would be back to, is it a scheduling, they want to schedule the room, or they just wanted to use the room?
They came in that day, on Sunday, and wanted to use the room, and my staff allowed that to happen.
Because in this, it also says you have to have 2 days advance notice.
Correct, correct.
So-
But
that's for
the notice I thought could be waived.
Right, at the
with
discretion of the
director's
director or
discretion.
her designee. or
So
however.
the notice wasn't, there were two issues, you're right.
Right.
It was unused at the time.
It
was unused.
Not disgracing anybody.
Can we,
Legislate common sense.
can we think on, only because there's the supervision piece that I
Right.
hadn't considered, that
Mhm.
the library staff really shouldn't be charged with then supervising a group in one of the
Correct.
rooms.
Which is why I thought if we left it with someone being 18 to sign for it, that would be the person doing the supervising, or at least supervising someone.
Is it the supervision that we're concerned about, or just having somebody say, yeah, I.
Liability.
think okay?
It's the liability part of it for me, that if something happens in that room, first of all, I can't have a 15-year-old sign
They're,
up.
they're clearly tied.
Right.
You're more familiar with how 14 and 15-year-olds in a group, unsupervised in a room, conduct themselves.
Mhm.
And my guess is that can vary a great deal.
It certainly can. Those that volunteer to come to the library on a Sunday
Are probably not a
probably
problem.
not a problem.
Well, you know, the why I love the kids in those ages, and myself, I would say right now, you gotta have somebody supervise. They go good for a while, but it takes one little incident, and it's gonna shoot it down for everybody.
Well, then do we stick with where it is? And,
I just need to give my staff direction.
I would still think that their parents or somebody should
I-
have to.
and because I guess what I'm thinking is, if somebody's name is on the bottom line, they are probably more likely than to be down
So I think they ought to
supervising.
be, because if they do damage, then it's too late. I mean, then you go through that whole process.
Want them to at least threaten them before they leave. They don't do
Okay,
it.
that,
I think leave it.
that's
leave it?
fine then.
Yeah,
And I'll
unless somebody
let my
else-
staff.
Well, that's why I was wondering about making the motion to do any changes or anything like that. That's,
I mean, I think you should always have some discretion, but.
I don't want to have the
It's hard
staff
to-
people get in
Put
trouble
in
for,
a-
on this occasion. I think the thing to have done next time was say, hey, we need to have, who drove you here, or could one of your parents come by?
We need an adult to
Because
sign
you
for
can,
the
you've
use of
waived
the
the
room.
notice already.
yeah,
Okay.
and the fee, because it was her school, they were doing a school project.
Yeah, and waiving the fee is fine too. Yeah.
Can we put that on the website somewhere, or and still do a newsletter, or just in the future, if you have a group of students who want to use rooms, you know, we're happy to have them, but, you know, we expect an adult to schedule the room.
Well, in 7 years is the
It's
first time this has
chaperones.
ever
Yeah,
happened.
so
I
I
think
would-
if we do that, we're gonna raise,
Yeah.
More question.
unless we just
So
bullet
you
point
want
that
to
says
discourage them?
well, I don't want to. I mean, we could.
Well, I always tell all my students to make sure they use the library. I did not know they were gonna come request to use a separate room, not just
That's nice.
an area like one of the,
I'm not sure that it's a huge problem, or that I have a problem with the way the staff handle it, but I think you're right. For guidance for from now on. I think it's, hey, guys, we do need somebody.
There are other rooms they could use, or other areas they could use.
Right, there's a corner over here, there's a corner over there that they're not. in a
Right, but if they
meeting
wanted to
room,
use a meeting room,
They need a parent.
I would think so.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with leaving it the way that is?
Parent or an older student who's
Okay,
Somebody
18 with an hour.
somebody who's legally.
Okay.
responsible.
okay, so we're not changing anything in our general staff.
Change that.
Send the kid in with no money.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's just so
All right.
many
And they'll want to do something.
Maybe you can. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the monthly claims. We have a motion for the month, to approve the monthly claims.
No, you can't be
Homeland
just
Security.
Oh, they want to be good.
I'll make a motion that we pay the monthly claims, I have no issue.
Department of Homeland Security for 50. Did we have a first?
Are you talking about the bill for the
Homeland
elevator?
Security. Is that what that was?
I
I just wondered.
We have a
Oh,
motion.
no, it's the boilers. That was for the boilers, the elevator was last, but yeah, Homeland Security. But it took them like 6 months to give us the bill. But yeah, they were out in the summertime.
You already moved, didn't you?
Sorry.
Made a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second.
Kessler, what did
Discussion.
he, that electrical work again?
Kissinger, yeah, remember, he changed all those lights
They look great.
outside.
Oh, outside?
Those ones in the front?
LEDs,
They look
yeah.
good.
Oh, really bright, really nice, all of them straight.
Yeah,
And he
it's great.
used the back parking lot too.
They really look good.
They really crooked, how would you like
Hmm? Were they
that?
crooked?
You know, we-
Are they? Well, they used to be leaning worse. That's all I could figure.
Right.
Screws and those. Any other questions or discussions on the monthly claims? All right. All those in favor of approving the monthly claims?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
At the risk of sounding really dumb, what is the SRCS?
Well, that's
Oh,
service.
yeah.
But I better look it up because I don't know why we even got the bill.
Okay, I wasn't putting, it's not a bill. It wasn't a bill.
Oh, okay,
That was on the
okay.
technical services report.
Okay.
And when you say CERCS, I've heard that and I understand what that is. I guess I had never seen.
The spelling,
Yeah.
or the acronyms
The
for it.
acronym.
But yeah, it's the kind of interlibrary loan
Okay.
that we went to.
That brings us to the point where I can say to everyone, I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Second, moved and second. All those in favor of
Don't forget to
adjourn.
sign
Merry
up.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Sign, we got a title.
Sign it, wait.